Hello guys, BJ Manuel here. Thanks for tuning into my channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you how I created one of the engaging videos for my best-selling smartphone videography course. In this tutorial, I'll be sharing with you a lot of skills in Alight Motion that will further better your skills in the bid to becoming a professional smartphone motion graphic designer. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please try and do so immediately or after the video. Without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Alright guys, so for this tutorial we are going to be using the 4:3 resolution, and we are going to name this the course promo. Good, and yeah, off we go. Now the first thing we are going to do is grab a shape like so, and we are going to click on it and fill the composition area like that. Then I'm going to change the color. You can use any color you want, but I'm going for this dark brownish color. Then I'll come to 15 frames. To my position, I'll add a keyframe at 15 seconds and 15 frames, and then at 0 frame I'll drag it out like so. Good. So we have something like this, but then at this point, at 15 seconds, I'm going to drag it out a little bit like that. Good. So we have something like this. Then I'll change the graph to something like this. So we shall have that. Good. Now I'll duplicate it. And then I'll change the color to something bluish, or this. Yeah, I think that is okay. And then I'll change the position on the keyframe. At this point, I'll drag it down like so. Good. And then at this point, I'll drag it out like so. Yeah, so we have something like this. And yeah, now we are going to grab our text. So at the middle here, or at this point, I'll just write a text, smartphone. I'll align to the center, and then I'll grab the Bibas new book. Then I'll change the color to white. I'll increase the size to say 40. Nope. Yeah, I think 48 is okay. Good. Then I'll come to my position. At 1 second, I'll drag it here. Then I'll add a keyframe. No, I think 1 second 15 frames. Yeah, 1 second 15 frame is okay. And then at 15 or 17 seconds, I think 15 seconds is okay. So we should adjust it until we can 15 seconds there. So at 15 seconds, I'll drag it down like so. At 15 seconds. Cool. And then I'll just make the same like so. Alright, and then I'll just copy it for the second text. Copy curve. Well, I don't think it's even necessary we copy it, we just duplicate it. Duplicate. Cool. And then for the second one, I'll type in videography. And And then for the font, I'll go for Bebas Bold. Then I'll reduce the font a little bit, like that. Cool. Now I'll come to 1.15 frames, 1 second 15 frames, and then at this point I'll drag it up like so. Beautiful. Then we should have something like this. Now to hide all this our animation and make it look nice, we're going to use a mask. So what we're going to do now is we are going to grab a shape layer, and for my shape layer I'm going to adjust this shape layer like so. Beautiful. I'll go to move and transform. I'll go to move and transform. I'll unlink it and then I'll stretch it out just a little bit like so. And then I'm going to group. I'll duplicate it. Duplicate. Yeah. Now for this first one, I'm going to group them together. Press and hold the first text and the shape you just created, and just group like that. And then you do the same thing for the second one. By now guys, you should know how to mask. Alright, if you don't know how to mask, watch other videos. I'll link a video in the description below for you to watch. Alright, so I'll just click on this one again, and so we have that. Okay, so oh sorry, the shape is supposed to be at the top. Alright, so make sure your shape is always at the top of the text. Shape has to be at the top of the text. Don't ever forget that. Alright, if you want to mask. And then that's done. So that's it guys. So if you give it a play, something is wrong. I don't know why. Oh sorry. Okay, I know what is wrong. Okay, the shape is, yeah, the shape has to be covering the text. Okay, all right, so the shape has to cover the text, and then yeah, we should have what we're looking for now. Sorry. All right, so if you give it a play now, yeah, you have that. Now the next thing you want to do now is you want to bring in that red. I'll change the color. Yeah, and then we're going to drag it down. Then we're going to adjust it a little bit. Cool. So I'll drag it up a little bit like so. Nice. And then I'll animate it. Okay, so I'll add a keyframe here. I'll come here. Then I'll add another keyframe, and so I'll go to the first keyframe, and then I'll just drag this to a close like that, and then I'll add the same speed graph that we've been adding. And so if you give it a play, you have that. Now I'll add my text now. Procos. Good. Align to the center, change the color to white, and I'll use Bebas Bold. Yeah, and then I'll reduce the size a little bit. I think I'll just add one more. Yeah, like so. Okay, so that's it. And then I'll come here, I'll adjust it a little bit. Let me increase it a little bit like that. Good. And then at this point, I'll add a keyframe. At this point, I'll add a keyframe, and at this point, I'll drag it down like so. Then I'll add the same speed graph. So next thing we want to do is we'll go to blending and opacity. At this same point, I'm going to add the keyframe on the opacity, and then at the beginning I'm just going to drag the opacity down, and then I'll add the same. So we should have something like that and that. Alright, so I'll just drag this a little bit, so we should have something like this. Beautiful. Now the next thing is that the text that is running in the background. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a text, smartphone, in capital letters. I'm going to use then I'm going to increase the size a lot. Yeah, like that. And then for the color, I'm going to off the color because we don't need the color, so we off the color. But the stroke, I'm going to enable the stroke and give it a white color. So for this stroke, I'm going to faint it a little bit. So I think 0.5 is enough. Okay, so yeah, and then what you want to do is come to move and transform, come to add a keyframe at the position, and then to the end just drag it a little bit like so. Yeah, so you have that movement in the background. So for the first like so you have that movement in the background. So you can do the same thing, just copy it. I just duplicate it, and then change the text, videography, and then I'll just drag it downward a little. Now don't forget you have to drag it at where your keyframe is. Okay, so don't ever forget that. Okay, so I'll drag it where the keyframe is, and then I'll go to the other end and drag it down where the keyframe is. So once the red line tells you it's aligned, you are good. So what I'll do now is I'll just increase the size of this one a little bit, and we are good. Okay, so for our second scene, we are going to duplicate this. Our first scene, we're going to duplicate our first scene. So I'll duplicate, and then I'll open it, and then I'll just do away with whatever I don't need. Okay, so so we don't need this, so we just delete it. Okay, so yeah, now we are going to get our box. Here is mine, so you can get whichever one is yours. All right, so the first thing you want to do now is you are going to animate it. Okay, so we want the animation to come in at the same time. All right, so at this point I'll add a keyframe to my position, and at this point I'll drag it out like so. So we should have something like that, and then I'll add this keyframe here. So if you give it a play, you'll have something like this, and then at this point I'll just at 4 seconds I'll just drag it a little bit like so to this place. Okay, so it gives you that movement, you see. All right, so that's the first thing you want to do. We're just going to off this for a moment because we don't need them. So now after you've animated your box, the next thing you want to do is you want to bring in your light leak. So how do you create your light leak? Create a box, stretch it out as much as you can, and then go to your color, go to gradient, this one here, and then for this one you're going to bring it to the center. You want to select this one in the middle, select this one in the middle, and then you want to drag it in a little bit like so. And then for your black color you are going to make it white, and then for your white color you are going to come here and then drag it in and make it faint like that, so it's transparent. Good. Now we are done with that. So you want to come to your move and transform and increase the size a little bit, and then you are also going to rotate it a little bit like so. Now once that is done, the next thing you want to do is you are going to your effect, go to effect, click on add effect, go to color, and then click on hot color, standard setting, and then you just want to drag this one to the blue side, and then for this tint we are going to drag it to the middle. We want to make it white, and then just drag this side to the top like that. Good. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to animate it, so it comes in like that, and at this point, good. So at this point we want it to be here, and then we add a keyframe, and then at 2 seconds 15 frames or 16 thereabout, we'll just drag it out like so. So we have something like this, like that, and then at 5 seconds we're just going to drag it back like so. Beautiful. And then the next thing you want to do now is we want to duplicate our box, duplicate layer, and then pull the box to the top. Good. And then we want to group our light and our box together by clicking this one here. So we have something like this. Nice. Nice. Now the next thing you want to do now is click on the mask layer, and then go to blend and opacity, and then go to light, and then you want to use color dodge. Nice. And so you have something like that. Beautiful. You see how simple it is? Now the next thing you want to do is just apply your text. I know we can all apply text, alright? So I'm going to apply the text, and then we are done with this thing. Okay guys, so I'm done applying my text, and at the end this is what we have. Alright? Nothing serious, okay? So all I just did is I brought in my I typed in the smartphone videography something, the text, and then I applied the position animation. Alright, it's very simple. Position animation, you come to this place, you see position. At this point you drag it out, at this point you drag it in, simple. And then you duplicate for the second one that says videography, and just change the text, and then just stagger it a little bit from the first one. This is the first one, and this is the second one, so you just stagger it a little bit so they don't come in at the same time. That's all. Right? And then for this box, you remember our red box from the one from the first scene? That's the same box. I just I changed the color and move it up here. That's all. And then I resized it. And then for the same text, it's the same thing. I brought it, I carried it from the center here, and then I brought it to this point here. That's all. And this text here, I duplicate this pro course. This pro course, I duplicated it, and then I changed the text and I changed the font. That's all. That's all I did. I duplicated this pro course, I drag it down, I changed the text, and I changed the font. I use Roboto Bold for this font here. Alright, this font you are seeing, I use Roboto, and then I aligned it to the right. That's all I did. I didn't do any other thing. And then for this box, it's still the same box, this blue box. I brought it down here, I resized it and changed the color, period. And then for this get it now, same thing. I duplicated this one here, and then I changed the text. That's all for this scene. Alright. Okay, so if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. I'll be willing and I'll be always available to answer any questions that you have for this very scene. So for the next scene, guys, you are not doing anything much. All right, so this is what your next scene looks like. All right, so by now you should understand what we are going to do. We are going to duplicate the previous scene, and then whatever we don't need, we are going to delete. So we are going to be deleting the boxes. We don't need the box, I think. Yeah, we don't need the box, so we're going to delete it. We're going to delete that too, so we don't need these two. We're going to delete it. And then for the text, now these are the texts we are going to need. So we're going to need this, we're going to need that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in our subject. So I'll go get the subject now. And then I'll just blow it up a little bit. And then I'll bring it here. Let me reduce it a little. Yeah, that's it. And then we're going to animate it. So at 1 second, we're going to add our position keyframe, and then at this point we drag it out, period. So we have that. We're going to use our normal, yeah, so you should have this now, period. That's it, guys, and that's all about this thing. All right, the next thing we want to do is just copy your images, your text, and then use as you see fit. All right, so this is what you are going to need. All right, so you can just type in your text, and voila, you are done. Okay, so type in the text that you need. And for this one, I think for this one, what you need to do is you are going to align to the right. So when you copy this text, you're going to need to copy this text. When you copy this text, align it to the right. For instance, you come here, you align to the right like so. You get it now? So that's what you're going to do for this text. All right? And then for this text, come out from there. And then for this text, you are going to do the same thing. All right? Duplicate it. Aligned, it's already aligned to the right, so you don't need anything. So for this one, you are using these two, and that's just it, guys. So you drag it to the right, and then you rearrange it, and you are done with this thing. It's not something difficult. Okay, so test your skills, right? Test your skills, and we are not going to be needing this. We are not going to be needing. I think these. Where is it now? These and these. Yeah, we're not going to be needing that. And then for this, you're just going to drag it to this point, like so. And then you come to move and transform, and then you just stretch it a little bit. That's it, guys. Nothing serious. Okay? So you come to your second keyframe and stretch it a little bit. That's just it. Okay? And then for this one, you stretch a little bit. And you can change the color if you want. If you don't, you are good. Okay, so that's it, guys. We move to the next scene. All right, guys. So for the last scene, what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate the first scene. All right, not the second, not the third. You're going to duplicate the first scene, and then you are going to change the text here. You're going to change the smartphone to this one at the top to gain access, and then the second one we're going to change to the course, right? So basically that's what we are doing. So I'm just going to do that now, and then you are going to change the color of the top shape and the bottom shape, and that's just it, guys. Nothing serious, okay? And then this is just the same thing that we have done, that we have used before, right? So let's go to the first scene. All right, so this is the one you are going to change now. You're changing that to, so you click on that. Yeah, so you enter edit group, and then you click on smartphone, click on this, and then you type to gain access. Click on that, and then go out. Oh wow, I think we need to reduce the text font and the text size. So just reduce that size like so. Cool, and then you go out. So you have that, and then you do the same thing. I've forgotten what the second text says, but it's the same thing. Click here, come here, and then you change the text, and I think it's click on the link. I can't remember. Click on the link. Okay, so assuming that is what it is, all you need to do is just reduce the size and then you go out. So that's basically it, guys. That's all. Okay, so all you need to do now is just adjust them as you see fit. Adjust that, and then you want to adjust these two. Period. And then for the text, for this one, the same thing. All right, so all you need to do is just adjust it, and that's it. Then the text below, you can just type in whatever your text below is. And then for the color, you can just change the colors of your shape. I think this one is it yellow or blue? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever the color is, just change it to whatever color you please. All right. And the second one, I think, is white. Beautiful. So the next thing you want to do is this one here. You want to just change the color to something. It's a stroke, so you want to change the stroke color to whatever rocks your boat, and that's it. All right. So okay, I think this one we're going to change the color. Yeah, let's just change the color. Click on the color. Yeah. Then change the color to whatever color you like, and that's it. You see what I did? Because it's a mask now, it's a group, I can add a solid color to it. Right, so you can always color your mask. All right, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around for this course. I know it's a very long course, but it's for your own benefit, so please bear with me. Please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Please, before you leave, just subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking around. Bye bye.